All right, today we are diving into an absolutely epic story from ancient India. Seriously, this one has it all. A king with 1,000 arms, a best friend with magical powers, and a love story that was so real it started before the two had even met. How is that even possible? Well, it all began in a dream. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a dream about someone you've never ever met? You know, a dream that felt so real that when you woke up, you actually missed them? Well, believe it or not, that's exactly what kicks off our whole story today.
So our story doesn't actually start with the princess. Nope, it starts with her dad, a king who was super powerful and honestly, super bored. His name was Banasura.
Now, King Banasura was a huge devotee of the great god Lord Shiva. And as a reward, Shiva gave him a pretty wild gift. 1,000 arms. I mean, can you even wrap your head around that? 1,000 arms?
But here's the thing. This created a very unique problem for the king. He was a warrior, right? And his 1,000 arms were literally itching for a good battle. But he was so strong, so unbeatable, that nobody dared to challenge him. He felt like all that power was just sitting there, going to waste. So Banasura actually complained about this to Lord Shiva. And, well, Shiva was not impressed with his pride, so he gave him this prophecy, kind of a warning. He said, "Oh, you foolish king, a battle will come, all right? When your royal flag is broken, you will finally get your fight with someone as powerful as me, and it will be the end of your pride." But Banasura was just thrilled. He couldn't wait.
Okay, so while the king is just waiting around for his epic battle, someone else's adventure is just getting started. It's time to finally meet his daughter, the wonderful Princess Usha.
One night, something truly magical happens. In a svapne, that's spelled S-V-A-P-N-E, and it's Sanskrit for in a dream, Princess Usha met the most amazing, handsome prince you could ever imagine. And right there, in her dream, they fell totally in love.
But then, she woke up, and he was gone. She was completely heartbroken. She didn't know his name, she didn't know where he was from. She just knew she had to find him. She was so upset she cried out for him right in front of all her friends.
Now, luckily for Usha, she had a best friend who was, let's just say, more than your average best friend. She was brilliant, she was loyal, and oh yeah, she had magical powers.
This friend's name was Citraleka. She was Usha's Sakhi, that's spelled S-A-K-H-I, which is a Sanskrit word for a really, really close girlfriend. And this Sakhi came up with an amazing, magical plan.
Citraleka was a fantastic artist, you see. So she told the princess, "Don't you worry. Just tell me what he looked like. I will draw a portrait of every single famous god, demon, and hero in the whole universe. When you see the one, you just point. And I promise you, I will use my magic to bring him right here."
So Citraleka started drawing and drawing. She drew gods, she drew heroes, she drew warriors from every corner of the world. And finally, she started drawing the famous Vrishni family. And then she drew him, a young man named Aniruddha.
The second Usha saw the picture of Aniruddha, she blushed this deep red, looked down all shy, and whispered, "That's him. That's the one." She found him. And get this, her dream prince was the grandson of the great Lord Krishna himself.
So, they had his face, they had his name. Now all that was left was the final and most magical part of Citraleka's incredible plan.
That very night, Citraleka used her mystical yoga powers to fly through the air all the way to the city of Dwaraka. She found Aniruddha sound asleep in his bed, gently lifted him up, and magically flew him all the way back to Princess Usha's palace. Nobody even knew he was gone.
So there, hidden away in the princess's private rooms, a place where no man were ever allowed to go, Usha and Aniruddha fell completely in love for real. She treated him like royalty, with priceless clothes, amazing food, and beautiful flowers. They were so happy, they didn't even notice time passing by.
But, you know, he just can't keep a secret that big in a king's palace forever. It was only a matter of time before someone figured it out.
The palace guards started noticing little things, like how the princess was glowing with happiness, but also signs that the palace rules were being broken.
So they worked up their courage and went to King Banasura, telling him they thought his daughter had a secret visitor.
Oh, the king was furious. He grabbed his soldiers, stormed into his daughter's chambers, and there he found Anuruddha. An epic fight broke out right then and there. Anuruddha was a great warrior, too. He grabbed a heavy iron club and fought off all the king's guards.
But even though Anuruddha fought like a champion, King Banasura had a trick up his, well, 1,000 sleeves. He used a terrifying magic weapon to capture him, a Nagapasha. That's Nagapash. It's a mystical rope made of living snakes, and with that, he finally captured Anuruddha.
And that is where we're going to leave our story for today. Anuruddha is a prisoner. Usha is heartbroken. And it looks like that great battle Lord Shiva promised King Banasura is about to begin. So what do you think is going to happen next? Do you think Lord Krishna will find out and come to rescue his grandson? Now that's a showdown I can't wait to see.